Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Big reveals moving to the next archetype from Quarter Century Trinity Box, I believe is what the QCTB stands for. It's an OCG product. It's only bringing 6 new cards to the game, but it's two Orcus cards, which we had revealed a couple weeks ago. Really awesome Link 1 and a solid Link 4. 2 Punk cards, which we have revealed tonight. And in the next couple weeks, we'll get the 2 new Dragon Maid cards revealed as well. From the leaks, it looks like these cards are going to be really nasty, and we can finally take a look at them. So here's the first card. It's our new level 8 main deck monster, which is pretty in line with what the leaks were saying, but let's confirm whether or not it was true. So starting off here, we start with Noh-P.U.N.K Rising Scale. She's a level 8 water sea serpent effect monster. Sea serpent, kind of weird. That does technically make her searchable of weird stuff like Atlantean Dragoons, but I don't think that'll be that relevant for this archetype. But anyway, 24/24 for the stats, pretty decent. You can only use the first, second, and third effects of this card's name, each once per turn. The first effect reads, you can banish one other Punk card from your hand or graveyard to special summon this card from your hand. That's a pretty easy extension effect. Does require just like not necessarily setup. If you don't open one in hand that you want to banish with it, you do have to get one in grave. But again, I don't think that's the craziest thing in the world. That should not be super hard at all. So yeah, that should be fine. I like that you can banish from grave too. They could have made this hand or field, so you actually have to give up some kind of active cost for it, but banishing from grave is like pretty free once you get there. So yeah, seems pretty good. Second effect of this card is special summoned. You can pay 600 life points to take one Punk monster from your deck or graveyard, except a level 8, and either add it to your hand or special summon it. Whoo! That's really, really strong. There's a couple things that makes this really strong. This just reborns or summons from deck. It's either e-tailing or reborning any level Punk monster, which means you can be reborning the synchros if you want. You can also be reborning the fusion for really insane follow-up, because like reborning the fusion, once you go through him, I'm pretty sure that just makes it so you can just use him to summon 2 Punks from deck, and that's just going to steamroll into like a bunch of more advantage. That seems really good. Yeah, that's really strong. This card does not seem like a starter just because you have to banish a Punk for it. I'm pretty sure in the leaks, I don't know if it was said specifically that this card needed to banish a Punk, or if it said like banish 1 card from your hand. So this isn't a starter, but it is a pretty insane extender. I feel like this feels like a 3 of in like a pure build, and probably in a non-pure build you'd probably just play it as like even in some combo lines just to make the combo stronger. I mean, the fact that it also summons itself, some of the other Punks are like discard them to do something. This one summons itself and then just summons one from deck. So even in that context of like playing through an interruption and then going, banish Xiamen from grave, whatever, Ogre Dance, whatever's in grave, summon it, then summon another one of the level 3 tuners. This card, like, at that point is by itself a 1-card level 11 synchro line, which is just really, really strong. So yeah, this card's good, man. This card's really good. And third effect, when a monster your opponent controls with 2,500 or more attack activates its quick effect, you can change it to face down defense position. Whoa, okay. For being like the bonus effect of this card, like this card's already an extender that e-tellies, like, you know what I mean? It's a tour guide that's an extender basically. And then on top of that, it's an interruption. Now, it's not any monster. If this said if this just said if a monster your opponent controls, period, activates its effect, you can Book of Moon. That'd be really cool. This does not target. Oh no, it does. It doesn't target. It actually doesn't target, but it does flip the monster that activated face down. It's not nothing. This isn't a crazy effect, but it's not a nothing effect for sure. So yeah, it's fine. This is not an effect that I expect to come up too often. In the original, with the translation I saw from the leaks, it said just change it to defense position, but this being face down does make this better. But yeah, obviously that's just the bonus effect, not really the main effect you're utilizing with this card. But hey, we'll take it. All right. And for our second card here, we have Punk Jam Fever. Look at the artwork on this guy. You have all of like those like dragon heads that they make at festivals in, I don't know, is it China? I guess I've seen this in like Chinese lore stuff, like Mulan. I know they had whatever. That's not what we're here for, but still cool. It's cool to see. It looks like they're kind of developing more of like the lore and stuff, and getting more of the characters set up in these pictures. It's awesome. Anyway, Punk Jam Fever. This is a rank 8 light psychic Exceeds monster. This is the first Exceed to come to this archetype, which is strange. You normally don't see that, but we'll see. This is 2800 attack, 600 defense, so big attack. 2 level 8 monsters, so this can just be made generically if you want. Once per turn, you can XYZ summon this card by using a Punk Fusion or Synchro monster you control as material. That's what we saw in the leaks. That's really, really nice. So you can just slap it. You can just get to any of the extra deck monsters, basically. You can just slap this sucker right on top and go from there. That's really, really nice, especially if he's good. You can only use both of his effects once per turn. First effect reads, you can pay 600 life points and detach 1 material from this card to draw 1 card. Nice. That's really nice. I was curious if there could be certain scenarios in Punk where you get the field spell, and if you don't know, the field spell draws you a card up to twice per duel, or not duel, turn, every time you pay life points to activate a Punk effect, I think, or pay whatever. It's basically every time you pay for the Punk effects, you get to draw a card off it, and you can do it up to twice per turn. I was wondering if there were scenarios where, like, by the time you get to that card, you've already used a couple of your engine effects, and like, how consistently are you able to pay 2 more times, right? So maybe this does give us the option to, 1, get the second trigger on the field spell, as well as just get us an additional draw. So you're already drawing 2 throughout your combo. Now you can choose to draw 3 if you want with this card, which is really, really nice. And yeah, it's just a really good option. That's already good. The fact that you can just slap this on one of the monsters you've already gone through and then just draw an extra card. Drawing 3 seems so crazy. If you can play 15-ish hand traps, drawing 3 from your combo, you're like almost guaranteed to hit like 2 hand traps, because you would have already pulled out a good amount of your engine out of the deck already. And then the second effect, when another monster's effect is activated and you have a level 3 psychic monster in your graveyard. This is Punk, guys. We're literally always going to have a level 3 psychic in the graveyard. Then quick effect, you can detach a material from this card, negate the activation if you do destroy that monster. Wow, that's really, really good. That gives you your nib negate. Now, this isn't like necessarily like a great, like in general hand trap deterrent. It's mostly just for nib. I would say just because you can only overlay this on top of the Punk synchros or fusions, which at that point, you know what I mean, you would have probably got hand trapped before you're actually getting into those and resolving those anyway. But still, that's pretty nice. The one last thing that is just a little bit, and to be fair also, there's a couple level 8s now in the archetype, right? You can summon this, use this to get you to another monster, reborn another 8, whatever. You can make this and then have 2 materials, so you can use the first effect to draw and still have the monster negate set up, which is pretty nice. But if you're overlaying this the cheap way, you only get to pick 1. And I think that's a pretty good way to balance a card like this. If this card, just one of these effects you just didn't have to detach for, it might have been like extra broken. But I think this is a pretty good way to balance it, that if you're summoning it the cheap way, you don't get both effects. It's almost like Beatrice, right? Where like Beatrice can't send if you summon her the super easy way off of Dante. You only get to use her effect the turn you summon her if you make her the hard way. But it's kind of like that, and I kind of like that. But either way, both cards are really, really nice. I don't know how far Punks are, honestly. Punks have been combined with Gold Pride. We had Pure Punk. That was actually a pretty good deck back when the Chaos Dragon ruler guy was still around. But he's been banned. I don't think he's coming back anytime soon still. So is the deck good enough without it? We'll have to wait and see. I have to assume the combo lines have gotten significantly better with both of these cards. especially now with the potential to just draw 3, and that's kind of what the deck wanted to do before anyway, was like draw 2 with the field spell, and use the Chaos Dragon guy to look at the top whatever cards. I can't remember exactly how he worked, but look at the top 5 cards of your deck, pull another hand trap to hand. So now we're just like drawing 3. Like, is that good enough with like whatever other interruptions punks are ending on? Like, maybe. I honestly have no idea, but I'm excited to see. I actually think this deck could be a pretty cool rogue deck going forward. Yet again, I do think this stuff is good enough to get them back up to playability. But there you go. Those are my initial thoughts here. I've never played Punk myself, so let me know your thoughts down below if you're like a more in-depth Punk player. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below on these. How much do these help the deck? Do they get them back to playability the way we want to see them? And all that stuff. I'd love to hear your thoughts there. But I'm out of here for today. Thank you so much for watching as always, guys. I will see you in the next video. Until then, peace.